So I got my wife something for Valentine's Day. Let's go get it and see what she thinks. Well, here it is. It's a brand new Vermeer M6050 disc mower. This is a 21 model. What do you think?
I don't want to be on camera.
Better than the old one?
Yes. It's going to look great on my tractor.
So 2 years ago, I bought her a 7610 Ford for Valentine's Day. And she does a lot of the hay mowing for us. And her old mower just kept giving us a lot of trouble and things, so finally bit the bullet this year and we've bought this. So we're going to try to get it hooked up, try to get it back up on the heat. So we've got it hooked up and we've got it back. Like I said, this is a brand new M6050 Vermeer. This mower comes with a 3-year cutter bar warranty. And we bought it from a local Vermeer dealer, Broadhead Farm Equipment. Good guys to work with, real helpful. We have been looking and talking about it for a couple of years on getting us a new mower. Our old mowers are new ideas. We've got a 8-footer of 5408 and a 7-footer of 5407. Anyway, they was getting old, wore out, and like I said, she does a lot of the hay cutting. And it just kept giving us a lot of trouble. I'm still going to keep it, and I'm still going to use it, but I just don't want to depend on it because it was giving us so much trouble. We went and we've looked at several different brands, and the Vermeer to me was the better mower, the better deal. Like I said, it's got the 3-year cutter bar warranty on it. The other brands either had a 1 or 2-year max. One thing I like about the Vermeer mowers that I don't like about the other brands is the other brands are gear to gear down through there, which means there's a gear for the actual blade, and then there's a gear that turns the other one, and it's all one gearbox, so to speak. To where these are like the old new ideas, to where each individual blade system has its own individual gearbox that's powered by a shaft. So if something goes bad in one pod, it is contained to one pod. To where the other ones, if you've got a gear breaks, bearing goes out, it could go through the whole machine and tear up the whole thing before you could get it turned off. That was one thing that sold me on the Vermeers. Another thing that sold me on them is just their built. They're built a whole lot heavier than the other brands that we looked at. One thing that Vermeer has come out with, and I'm not sure that I'm going to like that part, but this is the only way you can get them now, is it has this quick hitch system. And the way that is supposed to work is you're supposed to pull, like right now where it's hooked up, you're supposed to pull this pin right here and pull that pin right there, which unlocks it. And when you set it down, it unlatches this crossbar right here. And their theory is it's supposed to help the hookup. When we hooked this thing up, we did hook it up that way. It wasn't that bad, and it may be something that we keep using. I'm not sure on that, but you put your crossbar in and you back in kind of like a 2-point hitch on the old International tractor. You just back into it, pick up a little bit, which locks the cams and then you put them safety pins back in. One other thing that I like that Vermeer has got is it does come with this safety chain. I'm going to say all our old tractors, the lift arms don't want to stay up. They're either up or they're down. So we've always had them, but we've made them. So that come with it. One thing that I like. Another thing on the Vermeers that a lot of the other brands did not have is it did not have this end support out here on the end to help keep this cutter bar from flexing so bad. I've got a cousin that's got a bush hog brand, an older bush hog, and he kept having problems with the bolts down on the end of the cutter bar breaking just because it was supporting this whole cutter bar system and it just flopping out there. So Vermeer does have this on it that the other mowers do not. That was a big selling point to me. One of the other things is Vermeer has the quick blade change system on it. It comes with this little tool. It's a little hammer. It's got a little pry bar on one end. And the way this is supposed to work is you got to line up your pins that your blades bolt onto or hook it to this center hole right here. So you're supposed to turn that around there to that. You take the crowbar looking end of this thing and hook it underneath that quick clip and push it down, and it pulls that clip off. That's what holds your blade. Then you're supposed to take the hammer and knock the pin out through that hole, and then you can either change the blades or turn the blades over, and you just reverse that. I don't know if I can do that one-handed. You just reverse that to put that back in. Now this is a little bit tough right now just because of the let me set this down. Just because of the paint and stuff that's on all this, once you use this a little bit, it's going to wear that a little bit, and this won't be as hard as it's going on there now. And then once you put that back, you knock that over, that clip falls in behind that right there, and the blades are locked on. Now, like I said, the Vermeer has, and you can see here on the back, right here where it separates, this section right here is the individual gearbox for this particular turtle shell. There's 6 of these on this particular mower, and there's a hexagon shaft that runs up through here that powers all this. So each individual head here has its own gearbox, where the other ones has a series of gears all the way down through the whole bar. And I just don't like that thought. That was one thing that sold Dad on the new ideas back now close to 30 years ago, and that's one thing that sold me on the Vermeers now. One thing that the Vermeer mowers does not come with now that I feel it should is the wear plates. The wear plates, now when we bought this one, I had to buy the wear plates to go with this, so it does have them on it. The wear plates I'm talking about is right here. They hook on up here in this hole and comes around the back and bolts on back here in the back, and this is what does most of your wearing when it's on the ground. Without these wear plates, it's going to be riding right on this one. These are high enough, but these are like 3 or 4 times higher than these individual ones are. One thing that I do like about the skid plates on these Vermeers that I didn't like on the new ideas that we have is back here where they bolt on, right here, these come back and roll back a lot harder than the old new ideas did. They was about half this much, and what would happen is the ground over time would wear these heads of these bolts to where you just about couldn't get them off. So that's one good feature to this that I do like. Like I said, I bought this. This is for my wife's Valentine's, so she can't never say that I don't spend money for her or spend money on her. But we bought this. It come in about a week ago. Today's the first day that I've actually been able to go get it. For the past 2 weeks, it's been pretty bad weather here. We had an ice storm come in. That wasn't too terribly bad, maybe a 1/4 inch at that time. That lasted about 2 days, and then that left. And then once this mower come in and they got it put together and ready for me to pick up, we had another system come in. That one, we had ice in front. We got here about half, 3/4 of an inch of ice, I guess, and then we got about 6 inches of snow on top of that. We was in the highs was in the 20s, lows was down close to 0 there a couple of mornings. Roads was just about impassable. Today is Monday. Temperature's up about 40 right now. We did get some rain last night, which, as you can see, has melted most of the snow off. Yesterday it got up about 43, and the sun was shining, which melted a whole lot. But the days before that was pretty bad. So getting up on the hill there at Broadhead, it's been bad enough trying to get the pickup up there to do their feeding and things. And I did have to scrape the road with this tractor and grader blade to all the way down to the main highway. Nobody had done anything with that road, so I scraped all that off, and I just didn't want to have to go down there and get this mower in this kind of weather. So we went and picked it up today. But I do have a few clips of the ice storm, snowstorm, some pictures and some videos that I'll put on the end of this one, so you can kind of see what we've been dealing with here for the past couple of weeks. But anyway, that's the story on this, and I hope it treats us good. Like I said, this particular mower, or Vermeer mowers in general, comes with a 3-year cutter bar warranty. And like I said, that outdone all the other brands that we looked at, and we've looked at a bunch. And this had some features that I liked better than the other ones, and that's why we picked Vermeer. Like I said, we bought this from our local Vermeer dealer. Danny McKinney's the owner down there. John Robbins is one that helped sell this to us. Him and Danny did, and we finally made a deal on it. We finally bit the bullet, and we finally bought one this year. So, anywho, we're gonna take this thing down here and unhook it, and hopefully here in a month or two we'll put it to good use, and it'll last us a long time. So we've had snow and ice. Today is Thursday, the 18th. 3 days ago we had an ice storm come through. We got about a half inch, maybe a little bit more of ice, and then a little bit of snow on top of that. Not much, maybe a quarter, half inch maybe. Last night we got right at 4 inches, give or take a little. And right now it is about a little after 5:30, and this is what we've got now. We've still got snow falling. I don't know if you can hear it or not, but we are right at the freezing mark, about 33 degrees. The winds are blowing. We've got about quarter-sized flakes coming down, and the trees are popping and cracking real bad. A lot of it was trying to melt off earlier, but it's starting to get a little bit colder now. There was several power outages here in the county. We was fortunate. We never lost power. It flickered around quite a bit. The neighbors about a quarter mile up the road, they've been out of power now for about 3-4 days. The Broadhead farm, it never lost power. The ice was a lot worse down there than here at home. I never thought to take my camera with me to get some footage from down there. We've actually, me and my wife, we've been riding a four-wheeler back and forth because the roads had just been so slick and so impassable that we wasn't able to get a pickup up. The road that goes up to the Broadhead farm today is still solid ice, and all the snow's still on it. The city ain't touched it at all. There's a truck actually sideways on it now that tried to get up the hill and couldn't. So like I said, we've been riding a four-wheeler back and forth. Been a cold ride. It's about 6 miles from home, I guess, but we've been going down, sitting in front of the heater for a little while, space heater, warming up, getting our feeding and stuff done, warming up, coming back home. I'm not real sure how much they're predicting now for this snow here, but it is really coming down. The lake here, it's partly frozen. Got some ice on it, or some snow on it.